All right, it's Bill here. A couple days to marinate on another playoff disappointment for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and also hear some commentary and whatever BS was spewed out yesterday during press conferences. And here's my thoughts. I believe nothing's going to change. I believe the only change, based on what I listened to yesterday, and the fact that they're moving the manager meeting to Friday morning, so you put it on Friday so you can make sure there's no news scheduled for the weekend, because people are going to be more worried about their weekend than about a news schedule versus Thursday. Another day to stew on it. That just tells me Shanahan's not going anywhere. Treveling ding 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 is not going anywhere. Pelly, who's the new whatever. It doesn't. It's the same old nonsense. What you're going to hear on Friday is run it back another year. Now, we've been told that for about 8 years, and that's been really successful, I must say. It's one of the most successful organizations in the history of organizations. The only thing that's going to change is they'll change the coach. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Whoop-de-do. There's something that's gone over to me, or over past me, the last... the one thing that was crazy last year, I said the same thing. And I'm going to say the same thing this year. It's so silly, but then I don't listen to myself. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know I'm going to watch Leaf games next year. I know I will. I will. It's a madness. I will watch every single Leaf game that they play next year. And do some more videos maybe about the Leafs. Probably rant and rave. It does get a little tiring, I must say. But there's a thing called apathy that's kind of taken over me. I don't friggin' need to listen to people do their interviews. It's the same old, same old. Now, people will tell me, well, but Bill, like the Washington Capitals were in the same situation, right? Where they just couldn't get past it, but they kept with that team and they finally broke through. Really? Really? I've heard that being played. I'm going to give you the Washington Capitals playoff record, okay? It's a little bit different than the guys you're playing right now. Now, I will say the Washington Capitals did have a boogeyman, and that was the Pittsburgh Penguins. But let me tell you what their history was. I guess we can go back to 2009 or 8, I guess, was the first time that they made the playoffs. They lost in the first round. The next year, they lost in the semifinals. Okay? So second round. They went first round, second round, first round, second round, second round, second round. That means they won a round. Now, they usually played the Pittsburgh Penguins and lost. The Leafs have gone to one second round in 8 years. The Washington Capitals lost in the first round their first time, their third time, and their fifth time. They missed the playoffs 1 year in between. This is not the Washington Capitals that the Leafs are. The Leafs are an organization run by a person who had a strategy and just totally left the strategy. It's a blank anchor. If Shanahan is not fired, why do we care? Everyone's telling me Mitch Marner is going to get traded. Great. It's not happening, but I'm glad you're thinking about that. Because there was a time last year, go back to my video at the end of last season, when I said, Treveling ding 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 ding, welcome. You got 2 weeks to trade Marner, or you're never going to trade him. Watch the video from last year. It wasn't fair to Treveling ding ding, because he had 2 weeks to make a decision, but Shanahan could have made the decision. I felt Dubas was going to do it. I felt Dubas was going to trade Marner, but I think Dubas set himself up. Shanahan looks like this, I fired Dubas. You didn't fire Dubas. Dubas used you, you stupid idiot, to get a better job in Pittsburgh and a better paying job. That's what Dubas did. Even Dubas makes Shanahan look like an idiot. I saw him in the interview, and then I fired him. Shanahan, you went from maybe a tough hockey player, I would consider you a tough hockey player, to maybe one of the worst management I've ever seen. You manage exactly the opposite way that you played the game. It makes no sense. But so the trade Marner stuff, good luck. Now, we can just go to Marner and we can say we're not going to play him. Yeah, okay. You're telling me the brass tacks, the Leafs have that kind of brass tacks? Please. He'll go to Utah for Clayton Keller. First of all, there's no way Utah is that stupid. Do you think the other NHL teams have not watched Mitch Marner play? Have not watched him give an interview? You think they've never watched this? Do you think, when Matthew Tkachuk goes, I'm not surprised we're not playing the Leafs in the second round. Do you think the NHL knows what the Leafs are? You think they might? So they're gonna trade for a $10.9 million baby. For something to do? Just to help the Leafs out. Just, yeah. He's a skilled player, Bill. Yeah, skilled player. Yeah, 1-0. So just every team is going to just drop on their hands and we will take Mitch Marner. Okay. Well, maybe there is 2 or 3 dumb organizations out there. Maybe there is. I think you just say trade Mitch Marner. He has a no trade clause. You have to get him to waive it. The guy who should waive the no trade clause? John Tavares. You haven't been able to get him to waive one because he ain't waiving one. Come on, wake up. It's going to be, you obviously know now with the Friday, it's going to be bring it all back, except we'll change the coach, a little window dressing around the players, and we'll try again. And good luck. That's all it's going to be. We fired Keith, yeah. So Keith will be the scapegoat this year. I guess Dubas he wasn't even a scapegoat. Dubas used Shanahan, took him out to the woodshed and beat him. And the fact that Dubas takes you out to the woodshed as a manager shows you how bad of a manager you are. The Shanahan plan, which I don't know what that was, but there was a strategy. I remember having a discussion because right off the bat, I had a buddy, fire Dubas. I was like, my buddy, there seems to be a strategy here. We're going with skill and skating. The Leafs used to burn people up with speed. You got Zach Hyman in Edmonton. He's a fast skater. Connor Brown. We had Kapanen, Johansson. And then even when we made a trade for Kadri, we got Kerfoot. The guy freaking blows speed. That was the strategy. It was skill. I remember there was the draft when they drafted Marner. Babcock wanted Hanifin, as I recall. And then I remember Babcock said this. Mark Hunter falls over himself on skill. He's always going to go skill. Strategy. We're going to go skill. Even if you think the strategy's bad, it's a goddamn strategy. And the Leafs, 2 years into the Shanahan plan, decide to go get the slowest hockey player in the league and pay him $11 million. What happened to the plan? What happened to the strategy of skill and skating? Well, Bill, we can get Johnny T. Johnny T, who's been an absolute embarrassment. I don't care what anyone says. Take a look at his stats for an $11 million player. Never did he drive a line by himself. Never. He had Marner. He can't drive a line by himself, and he's $11 million player. You name me another player getting over $10 million that can't drive a line by himself. Yes, I know there's the Jeff Skinner signing. It wasn't 10. And I believe Skinner can skate. Tavares, and then we make trades for, I didn't make a trade, so sorry about that. I see people, we. The Leafs make a trade for Nick Foligno. Nick Foligno can't skate. But they made us work tougher. How'd that work out? See, the Leafs don't just lose to Pittsburgh. They lose to Washington. They lose to Columbus. They lose to Tampa Bay. They lose to Florida. They lose to Boston. See, we don't just spread it. We're not the Washington Capitals. We spread out the pain. We spread it out nicely. And we'll get into the interviews. You don't expect anything in an interview. You don't. Players are going to come out and go, crap. Samsonov was interesting because he actually said I needed to make an extra save. Was that accountability by Samsonov? Did he take a little accountability? I heard Morgan Riley sort of get there. He sort of got there because this one hurt more because I was on the ice. He didn't say he should have been better on the play, but he always relived it. He sounded like he was taking some accountability. Nylander and Matthews looked like they had better places to be. But at the end of the day, Matthews was trying to get there. He just wasn't going to say it. So some PR persons told him, keep your mouth shut. Now, we got the Mitch Marner PR. This is the worst PR person. Mitch Marner in front of a camera is an absolute disaster. It's a dumpster. The minute you put, we all know what Mitch Marner is. Okay, Mitch Marner holding out. You can go to the Shanaplan on that. The Nylander holdout, the Mitchie Marner, Mitchie Boitano holdouts. You can do all that stuff you want. Yeah, that's part of what happened on the Shanaplan. But to me, John Tavares is where the Shanaplan died. And then you got slow. You went slow. Oh, we're gonna get tougher this year. You need defense, and you need to get rid of the people in the room that caused the lead. There's no leadership. I think Ryan O'Reilly last year left because there was no leadership. He said that there's no leadership in the room. I wonder why. Our captain, Johnny K, I think that this is great. I think we're right there. You're right there. You're right there. You haven't won any goddamn. You won one round in 8 years and you're right there. Shut up. And you got Mitch Marner. What was it? We're looked upon as gods. Now, I'm probably not going to steamroll him like a lot of people have. Because I don't think he actually meant it. He's just an idiot in front of a camera. I blame his parents. Like, the kid grew up thinking he's a god. Okay. You know who are gods in this city? There's not really any gods in this city, let's be fair. But people that are if they walk down the street, the Leaf fans are going to love them. Wendell Clark being one, I'm going to guess. Curtis Joseph being another one. Most likely Doug Gilmour would be up there. I'm not putting Matt Sunday in there, but I think those are your three that if they're walking down the street, everyone's like, you want to know why they're that way? Because they gave their heart and soul on the ice. They weren't as talented as Mitchie Boitano. So Mitchie Boitano says you're looked upon as gods. No one in Toronto Maple Leaf fandom thinks that Mitch Marner is a god. Would you like to know Mitchie Boitano, what the majority of the Leafs or fandom thinks of you? It's the exact same way that the majority of the NHL thinks of you. You're a pansy. You're a talented person who will not go the extra mile to get it done. You play the regular season all on the outside, and then your playoffs start, and you're scared. You're a joke. You're laughed at by everyone in the NHL. That's not what a god gets done. You get laughed at. The NHL laughs at you. I laugh at you on a regular basis. I watch you play. I don't laugh as much as Johnny T trying to skate, but I laugh at you. You're a joke. This is what you need to have in your exit interview. You need management to show you what the NHL thinks of you. I'm sure if you talk to other players in the NHL at the bar, not in front of a media camera, they're going to laugh at you. Even Matthew Tkachuk tried to, I don't mean this as disrespect, but we're not playing the Leafs. That's funny, eh? Wonder why. All I heard, blah, 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 blah. They moved the press conference. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm absolutely wrong. Yes, Keith's going to probably get the axe. Does he deserve the axe? I think someone else deserves the axe way more than Keith, but at the end of the day, Keith took responsibility. He even took responsibility for Marner. He says, I should have made Marner better. Good luck with that. You're going to need the best psychiatrist in the world and a brain transplant to make that guy better. Like, no coach is making him better. Let's go back to what started all this nonsense. Wasn't the Babcock? Oh, hey, Babcock was really rude to Mitchie. He said he wasn't, he compared him to Tyler Bozak and then told Tyler Bozak. Now, I've heard coaches do a lot worse before this. Why do you think Mike Babcock did that? Thoughts? He probably saw Mitch Marner being this, I'm a god, and said, I'm going to knock this kid down a bit, and I'm going to get some dissension in the ranks, so someone's going to pick this guy up and try to get him to where he needs to be. I'm guessing that's what his intention was. By the way, how did that story get out? How did that story get out? The Mike Babcock story, how'd that get out? Couldn't have been Mitchie. See, for me, Mitchie is someone who has a leadership role on this team, unfortunately. I don't think Matthews, I don't think Nylander have it in them. They're kind of the shucks guys with a lot of talent. Let's face facts. Matthews is the best player that's played on the Leafs ever. Would I like him to be more mean? Would I like him to be more of a leader? Yes. He doesn't have it. John Tavares is not a leader. He works hard, apparently. Nylander's an shucks. So who leads that room? Marner leads that room. And that's why Ryan O'Reilly left. Or didn't want to come back. Didn't even consider it. He might not have stayed with the money. He didn't even consider it. There was an opportunity to trade Mitch Marner last year. Trevor Ding Ding had 2 weeks. He didn't do it. We will now suffer the consequences of that decision, which, by the way, is a more piss-poor decision by a piss-poor management, by piss-poor everything. Shanahan should be fired. There is no logical reason to leave Brendan Shanahan. He set a strategy and then went against the strategy. He's coddled these guys. He's made it into a little club. He thought the Muskoka 4 was bad. This is on a different level. Shanahan should be axed, but he won't. Marner should be moved. He won't. We're going to roll it back again. Hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. The Leafs will be worse next year because we now spend an extra $1.5 million on Matthews and $5 million on Nylander. So what are we going to get? You going to bring back Domi and Bertuzzi? Good luck. They're going to take pay cuts, are they? A lot of players come to the Leafs and take pay cuts. Maybe Mark Giordano. You're not keeping anybody. The Leafs will be worse next year. Worse. If there's any news on Friday, I probably won't talk to you until like Saturday or Sunday, but I'd be shocked. Other than hearing Keith getting fired. And I saw Craig Berube, that's the coach you want? He's the one who's going to get Marner to play? Okay. You can get the next coming of Toe Blake. It ain't going to make a difference to this team. Cheers.